boy Stevie Jobber. It's your boy Dangerous Duke. The Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Wait a one. The boy Stevie Jobber. Dangerous Duke. Stay dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm your boy Stevie Jobber.
I'm your boy Dangerous Duke.
And welcome back to the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, putting wrestling over one podcast at a time.
And it's clobbering time.
And it's clobbering time. It's time to light it up. It's probably one of the brightest days in 2025 wrestling history. I feel like the impossible has happened yet again. By the impossible, I mean that on Friday night, even though there was a lot of speculation, there was a lot of rumors about who was going to be this partner in Chicago for CM Punk as he went up against the machine that was Seth Rollins next to Becky Lynch, that cost him the world title yet again. And surprisingly, it was not Bayley, it was not Rhea Ripley, but as if we willed it into existence, or they had a perfectly planned sign there that I swore might have been fan made, but I guess was too obvious to ignore. AJ Lee returns to WWE to the probably one of the biggest pops I've heard in quite some time.
Without doubt.
Considering how big the pop for CM Punk was when he had hit the building, it was that with another notch on it when AJ Lee had returned. So let me just tee it up and then I'll hand it to you, Duke, for your reaction. They do kind of build to it the whole night. And there's other stuff that goes on, but we're here for AJ Lee. So we get to this point where, and I thought the dynamic setup was interesting. What happens first is Seth Rollins comes out. He doesn't come out to the ring though. He comes out in the crowd like Jey Uso style. Kind of stands at the top of the ramp to introduce Becky Lynch. He introduces Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch kind of takes the ring, which is, to me, signal number one that big deal. They're giving the women the spotlight. If Seth is going to stay up there, then this is a situation where they want this to be about Becky and whatever's about to happen with Becky. Becky comes out there. Great introduction by Seth. I thought the promos were great leading up. Becky comes out there, boasts, brags, says F Chicago, all the sports teams suck. This sucks, that sucks, you suck. CM Punk sucks. All of that jazz, all the great bad guy shtick, but for some reason on this Becky Lynch, I don't mind it. CM Punk comes in, as CM Punk will do, great pop at the end of the night. He comes in and he gives Becky a chance to bail because this isn't about her. Of course, we all know Becky is not going to do that. Becky proceeds to, again, give him probably one of the best slap fests since like Stephanie McMahon. Just lighten him up. I want to see more of this. I don't know why, but I just think she's the best slap I've ever seen from a girl to a guy, and like a aggressive, I dare you to do something fashion. This is probably the most boisterous you could do it. Punk eats it like a champ, then proceeds to get out of the ring. Says, I never hit a woman. But I know someone who will. We all anticipate, and I can't hit the music, so I'm not even gonna try. I feel like such a nerd. But Light It Up comes on, And I
Mm-hmm.
knew before the words even hit, I was like, oh crap, it really is AJ Lee. And she comes out, man, she looks even more ripped than she did before when she left. Same fit, same crazy look on her face. Credit to Becky Lynch. She really, really sold the terror. I was just watching wrestling. I've been watching wrestling docs since the hiatus. Uh, so it reminded me of Triple H reacting to Cactus Jack. It was like, oh my God, this great. And then it kind of does remind you as a fan, like, oh yeah, like she's crazy. Like she was a problem. She was scary. Um, she comes and we'll readdress all of this, I'm sure. But she comes skipping down. Doesn't address Punk at first, right? It's kind of business, she gets in the ring, great whooping on Becky Lynch. Um, Great facials, great selling, got a slap back. And then of course the celebration. I just thought everybody's reaction was great. The crowd was great. Everything about it was fantastic. How did you feel?
My jaw is still on the floor.
Mhm.
I knew, like, we all knew this was gonna happen. We were like 98% sure it was gonna be AJ, but that 2%, because we always gotta count for that 2%. Um my jaw is still on the floor from Friday. Still to this day, I have not found it to pick it up off the floor. Um the way they did it was great. Like you said, that slap fest from Becky, and then Punk just sitting there like, you know what? Fine, I'll leave the ring. Da 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 da. And then the reactions themselves, Becky's reaction was perfect. Seth's, I'm glad they took the camera off of Seth when they did, because it looked like he was smiling and trying
Mhm.
to not smile at the same time. So
Yeah.
that was great. Just leave the focus on Becky and AJ. And like you said, dude, she looks like she never left. She looks like she took a 3 week break to put on like muscle mass and tone it up even more than it was already toned, and that was it. Like, she hasn't aged one day in the 10 years she's been gone. So I'm excited. I'm like, this was a moment that reminds us why we love wrestling. Because for 10 years we've been wanting someone to come back, and when we finally got it back, it's like they never left. The crazy was still there, the look was still there. Now, the only thing is, what are they going to do next? And that's the most exciting thing for me, is I don't know what they're going to do next. I mean, obviously we know the mixed tag match is bound to happen, but outside of that, I don't know what's next. And I am absolutely okay with that, because we got AJ back, and that right there is probably the best moment of 2025 in my book for professional wrestling.
Yeah, I really don't know where you go from here. They really, yeah, the first thing I said, I'm too much of it, and this reminds me why I'm too much of a wrestling. I'm too much of an overthinker sometimes. Because my first initial reaction was, what a way to sell WrestlePalooza.
Yes.
They're really going to make you pay for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those of us who are going to pay for it. Um, they really sell you on WrestlePalooza now with AJ Lee coming back. How do you not watch? It looks great. And it was kind of, you remember when you first saw Michelle McCool back in the Rumble, and you were like, man, she still got it. I didn't know she was this good.
Yeah.
I just don't think there was enough signs, so we
Mm-hmm.
were surprised.
Yeah.
I was not surprised. Like AJ Lee coming back was kind of like a, she'll never do it, but if you
Man.
had followed her even a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I followed her enough to know she's always stayed in great shape. Followed her
Mm-hmm.
enough to know she probably hasn't lost it in the ring because she's been managing while she's been away. She hasn't left wrestling necessarily, and she's still in great shape. I'm sure great in-ring shape she would have to be.
Oh yeah,
I could
because she does
only
heels.
imagine.
Because she does the show heels. So she's still got that ring shape in her.
So with all the stuff she was still surrounded by, it did seem like it never happened. But I always knew if she ever did, we'd be in for probably a Shawn Michaels type second run.
Yeah,
Like, because she looks like she's got a better run in her than the first time.
absolutely. And the only difference is the veins.
And the
It's
only difference is,
shoot. Yeah, that's the only difference. But the good thing is they look close enough, like Chuck Taylor's, that it worked. But that was the only difference I spotted.
I prefer Vans anyway. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
but I mean, for the AJ look, you need the Chuck Taylors. But I mean,
Let me check that.
again, they looked enough like the Chuck Taylors that they passed.
I'll say this too. One of the things for me was, man, it shows significance that they showed the video of her signing the contract.
Yes,
Like she signed a contract. Like they showed a
multi-year.
video of her signing a contract, which means it's not a one off.
Yeah,
She's
multi-year
here.
and full
Like
time.
we got her. Like I apologize for Nikki Bella. We
2015 is alive and well in 2025.
uh you know what I mean? Sometimes there's a yin and yang to things, man.
Hey,
Sometimes you gotta suffer to get to the place you really wanted to be. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta go through the valleys of a total diva to get to the highs of the pipe bomb AJ Lee era.
mm-hmm.
And it really resonates today. Um, I wanted to say this before we got off of it, and then I'll toss it back to you for any final thoughts or anything you want to bounce off. But I just remember rewatching some of the stuff and being like, I realize now why it was so hard for people like Nikki Crosses and the Alexa Blisses and the chicks that were just a little bit crazy. I realized why, even to some extent, Liv Morgan, why it took so much longer for them to get over it and why it was so much less believable. And it was because they were kind of following in the footsteps of the original crazy chick. And I don't mean like Tara crazy. Like I know there was crazy chicks before AJ Lee, but I mean the chick that was a little bit off.
Yeah,
And you could tell it in all of her mannerisms. And she was the chick that seemed like she was the underdog in every fight, but she really was a total package.
she did the crazy
Like
girlfriend gimmick very well.
she did just being a little bit she did being a little bit psycho very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very well. And away from that character, the in ring was amazing. The sell job was amazing. Whether she was losing or she was winning, she looked great. Um, and on the flip side of that, even away from being crazy on the mic, when she was just being AJ Lee on the mic, she was almost impossible to touch. She
I
was
was just
one of
about
the
to say
sharpest chicks out there.
yes.
You
I
did
was just
not
about to
want to
say that.
be against AJ Lee on the mic. It was a bad day for you. She was so head and shoulders above everyone else. Every time she said anything, it cut like a knife. It was incredible. Like,
Put it this way: the closest person to her in her era was Paige, and we all know how good Paige was or is, and AJ
mhm,
was still head and shoulders above her.
mhm.
Nobody was competing with her on the mic.
It was, and to even add to that point, there's a reason when Paige debuted, she took it right off of AJ, and when AJ came back, she took it right back off of Paige. Like and to us watching, it was like a no brainer.
Yeah,
Like right decision. not even a debatable. You would hope that there would be some sort of friction, like the Bianca Belair situation, for example, when
Mm-hmm.
she lost the title as soon as what was it, Becky Lynch came back,
Yeah.
and they spent like a year making up for that. This was like, nah, right decision,
Yep.
right decision. Like it was so she was always so on top, and I could only imagine she's gotten better with time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she's only got 10 years of ammunition in the chamber. So like it's gonna be a wild one. And the matches that she can put on, like her and Alexa are gonna be fire. Her and Liv are gonna be fire. You know, her and Roxanne are gonna go at it eventually. She like it's the amount of talent that she has to work with now has only gotten better from when she was there. And that makes this
Mhm.
a very scary good situation. And I'm here for every single minute of it.
And because of her character, she can really shock the system. Not to be Adam Cole about it, but
Oh
the
no,
way
but
that
yeah.
her character generally is, yeah, she's a little bit crazy, she's a little bit scary, but she's often kind of in a John Cena way, a cut right to the source of your character. So a feud with her essentially is a revival of whoever your character is supposed to be, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the fight. The fight is I'm going to tear you down as a person, and you're going to underestimate me because you think I'm small and I'm crazy. And I'm going to tell you about yourself. And then I'm going to psychologically, like she was the
Rip you
original
apart.
crazy chick. Like
Yeah.
she was like a Bray Wyatt and like really short shorts. It was crazy. Like it was like
It was a beautiful thing.
it was a beautiful thing. And I
But
can't wait to see it in action again.
yeah, I was gonna say, and before we log off, I do want to say thank you to one person, and it's not the person you think. So people listening, bear with me because I'm gonna get us there. I want to say thank you to Jungle Boy Jack Perry because had you not did what you did and do the real glass thing, we would not get CM Punk back in WWE. And if we don't get CM Punk back in WWE, we don't get AJ Lee back in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry, because of your, I don't even know how to describe it other than because of your mouth, we get to have this moment. So thank you, because you kind of just shot AEW in the foot with this, because
I want to
WWE
thank.
is
Listen,
going to be running wild right now.
it's bigger than that. I want to thank everybody who contributed to this. I want to thank Tony for releasing the
Yeah.
footage. I want to thank the
Mm-hmm.
EVPs for being involved in it and
Mm-hmm.
just
Nate and
pissing
Mike,
him
good
off to
job,
the
guys.
point, where he's talking about it in press conferences. I want to thank the guy that gave him the muffin that made the post conference so iconic.
Yeah.
I want to thank the guy that installed the video footage in that arena in Gorilla that caught the
Mm-hmm.
shot of them fighting. I want to thank Jack Perry. I want to thank Fake Glass, Real Glass.
I want to thank
I,
Samoa Joe for separating them when he did. Like,
I want to thank Samoa Joe for witnessing it and giving them time, to
and preventing
one get
Punk
a
from
shot off
catching a
and
felony.
separate it. Yeah, yeah. I want to thank Tony Khan's nervous system for being afraid for his life in that moment. I want to thank Hunter for choosing money over beef. Like I want to thank everybody involved, man. This is
This
a
is
great thing we've done tonight. This is a
you
great
you
thing.
you have made a great moment in wrestling for all of us, and we thank you. We wholeheartedly thank you.
Everything happens for a reason.
Beautiful.
And with that being said, man, I am Stevie Jobber.
I am Dangerous Duke.
And this has been the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, man. Thank you for joining us. Click the link in the description. I won't give you the whole runaround, but this is the part for the cheap plug. Anyway, stay up, stay blessed. Leave your comments about AJ Lee and Duke as always.
Light it up.
It's your boy Stevie Jobber. It's your boy Dangerous Duke.